So Girl Garden just reached 30 billion visits. That got me thinking, how the flip is that even possible? There's no way a game where you watch plants grow is Roblox's biggest game. So in this video, I decided to remake Girl Garden, but better. Maybe my game could be top 3 on Roblox. My entire idea for this game is to combine two big games made by the same franchise and combine them together. Because, like Alexander the Great once said, why copy one game if you can copy two? To start, I opened up a new Roblox faceplate and imported some models. Then I added a hover effect, so when you hover over a plot, it will turn blue. I also gave the player an inventory, which will be important later. But there's not so much building in a game about building, if you get what I mean. So to fix that, I added this placement system. But having the model just spawn out of thin air is bad game design. So I spent the next few days doing some research, and I came up with a brilliant idea of building the model piece by piece. This might not look very realistic, but it's better than whatever this is. Since this game is a game about farming, I think it's time to finally make the growing system. To start, I messed around with the plot shape and crop placement to try to find something that would look good. Eventually, I decided to give up and do some old-fashioned copy and pasting, and we have ourselves a basic growing system. You might be thinking, plants don't just pop out of the ground like that, but according to nature, plants do be like that. I also added a shovel so you can remove the crop you place like in Grow Garden, and when you remove the crop, you can get your seed back, like in real life. I also added a water canister. Thanks, Froggo. Then I added some particles using Roblox particle system that will spray water when you click on it. But since I can't do anything other than script and make ugly UI, I decided to steal the particle I used in Cook, which is just a little game I'm working on that is like super duper cool, which is part of a really totally good devlog series that I made, with the final episode going to be released when the game comes out. So if you like this video, support me on Patreon because your boy's broke and I need funds for Cook. The next thing I made is a cell stand, so you can actually make money. To start, IRL made this really cool original stand model. Then I recycled Beastform Simulator's dialogue system because a wise man once said, why copy one game if you can copy two? Since I don't want to get sued by Jando, I used my own original idea. I know, crazy. So instead of selling your entire inventory, you can now choose what items you want to sell and the amount you want to sell. Since this is my game, I thought, why not make an excuse to put myself in the game? So I decided to make myself the shop owner. Using the same code from before, we got ourselves an interactable shop. For the UI, I didn't want to copy Girl Garden because I don't know how they made the buttons pop out like that. So I decided to just make something similar to Clash of Clans. By making something similar, copy every aspect of it and put a search bar to make it look original. Since I still wanted to copy Girl Garden, I made these buy button UIs that will slide in when you click on the item. I also added a little viewport camera to all the models so a little icon would appear when you open the shop. But the issue is, the shop doesn't do anything. So I added this block of code that will deduct farmkins in stock and add the item to your inventory, which was way harder than it looks. The game seems to lack an objective, so instead of addressing that issue, I decided to make a fully functional tutorial system. Because, why fix a problem if you can make more? To start, I made myself a new NPC. Then using the same NPC code from the last two NPCs, I made the NPC interactable. In more professional games, their tutorial system would come with an arrow pointing at the task. Since Build a Farm is one of those high quality, totally professional games, I decided to take the tutorial system from my game Cook to my other game, Build a Farm. This system is also purchasable on CaptainScript's Shop Hub, link in the description. Yeah, this video is sponsored by me. CaptainScript's Shop Hub is a shop hub that offers high quality systems for very low prices, like this data store system that I use in all my games, and the stamina system that is completely free. Yeah, you heard me. Free. A bonus for being such a good person, some of my products are free of charge. If you have any questions or something that is not working, feel free to contact me through my Discord server, Captain's Cove, or shoot me an email and I'll help you with your problems. Now, back to the video. Next up, I decided to make a worker system. I wanted to make something like Clash of Clans where you have NPCs that help you do things and make your life easier. My plan is to have the NPC walk to the plot and make the crop grow a little faster. But I thought the idea was pretty because of something that I added later. So instead of boosting your crop, I made the NPC do a little bit of everything. To balance it, I gave each NPC an IQ stat, and the dumber they are, the longer it'll take the NPC to perform a task. I then added an upgrading system because Cock had one and I also wanted one. But there's a slight issue with this system. And cock, each building upgrades occupies the same amount of tiles. But since my game didn't have that, some buildings would overlap. But yeah, it's fine. At the start of development, I was given some silos, which are just long metal tubes that you put stuff in. But there isn't really a reason for the player to store their crops in the silo, if they are able to sell their inventory. So I decided to implement a decay system. If a player leaves their crop in the silo for 1 month, it will become aged. 6 months, it will become aged. And 1 year, will become rotten. These aged crops will be worth more and make the silo less flippin' useless. The next thing I added is a day-night cycle like the one in B-Storm and Minecraft. To start, I wrote some code that matches the real world time, so every 15 minutes will match 1 day and build a farm. So if the current time is 7:02 a.m., build a farm's time will be 3:34 a.m. Go to Captain Script Shop Hub, link in the description, for your own day-night cycle for free if you're a tier 2 crew member. I'm just joking, just shoot me a DM and I'll hook you up. Only 10 day-night cycles will be free, so get yours ASAP before it runs out. In professional sports like baseball and football, there's something called a contract. According to the Webster Dictionary, it means agreements between people. And the last time I checked, no other game had any sort of contract system. So why not be the first? How it works is the player owns the worker for a specific amount of months and has to pay Moo. Every day that passes, you'll get deducted some Moo, which is like 15 minutes cause the days are short as. Once it reaches 0, the worker will leave to get the milk. But don't worry, cause you can force your worker to stay a little longer by giving them some more Moo. And that's basically sport contracts in a nutshell. They're also like other illegal arbitration, other stuff, but like, that's too hard. Right now, we only have 1 worker, and a game where you hire only 1 worker is kinda lame. So to solve this problem, I added a recruiter dude, and he will sell you some pretty elite workers. Also added a restock system that restocks the workers queue every 15 minutes so you have a chance to get some better elite workers. And don't worry if you miss the restock window because I wrote some amazing code that tracks the last time the workers restocked and restocks them. Right now you can plant stuff, sell stuff, buy more stuff, hire workers, and so much more. But this game is missing something, and that little thing is animals, of course. So my idea is to have something similar to the factory game mode in Blookit, where after a set amount of time you get resources and you can sell it for money. And yeah, it works, but I want the animals to be able to move around freely because this is America. Yeah, freedom. To fix that, I made the animals spawn when they get added to the barn, but right now the animals are just sitting there and need some sort of AI system to make it come to life. I made a few AI systems in the past, my favorite being the AI script using strict parents, where the AI learns from experiences like in Hello Neighbor, but 200 times dumber. When I was researching other games' AI pathfinding system, I came across this video by Red Logic that explains how Minecraft's AI system works. In Minecraft, mobs use a basic pathfinding system where the mob will choose a random block that is in a 10 block range on the X and Z axis, and a 7 block range on the Y axis. Using the same logic, I made it so every 60 seconds, the animal will walk to a random position in a 50 stud radius. And since animals need to eat, every once in a while, the animal will pathfind to your crops and eat a couple of them. Of course, I would need an animation for that, so I commissioned a professional animator off Twitter without the bird, and the game has some semi-realistic animals that can walk around. But having the animals walk around freely isn't so realistic, so I added a stable system. Yeah, nothing much to talk about. And I also added a feeding system because animals need to eat. Build a farm is pretty much dumb, but it's missing something. It's a feature that is found in games like Fish It, and 99 Nights in the Forest. Want a hint? It's a fishing system. To start, I made a really basic casting animation, an animation where you pull back the fish. Next, I made a mini game that is totally original. Totally not the same as 99 Nights, but I'll change it once the game actually releases. Trust. You can now fish, but the fish don't really do anything. So I added Fish Girl's shop. In her shop, she offers different types of rods with improved stats ranging from bad to less bad. I also got these really cool fishing rods made by my boy IRL, and with that, it's time to finish off the game. It's almost been 3 months since starting this project, and a lot has happened. First of all, Grow Garden fell off, and now everyone's playing Plants vs. Brain Rots. Never mind. And the Mets and Ravens have been eliminated from the playoffs, which is always great to see. Psych! I also have been taking a break from Cook, if you guys haven't been noticing. That's why the last devlog was 4 months ago, and totally not because I was too lazy to make another devlog. But I'm proud to announce that Cook is indeed coming back in 2026, so look out for that. Now, back to Build a Farm. Since this game lacks an objective, just like Grow Garden, I thought, why not do what every other game does when it lacks an objective? Add a rebirth system. In games like Grow Garden, when you rebirth, you lose all your progress, but you also get something exclusive, like a rare crop. To start, I decided to make a portal to teleport the player. Then I set up an island, which may look pretty ass, but this is the best I got. Then, using the same UI I made from Fish Girl's shop, we have ourselves a working portal. Once I got the UI down, I made this loading screen that is totally not inspired by Arm Wrestle Simulator's teleport system. I added some dialogue and wrote some code. Now I'm able to ascend to the heavens and get taxed by Uncle Sam. Now, that just leaves one last thing I need to do before I can publish this game, excluding monetization, of course, and that is multiplayer. Unlike Unity, Roblox comes with their own built-in multiplayer system, so the only thing I have to do is duplicate the island 3 times, and boom, we have multiplayer. I also added a depth system, so no need to be worrying about being broke. And remember when I said earlier about adding something that made the workers flipping useless? Yeah, that little thing is sprinklers, which just spray water and boost your crops. And yeah, that's basically it with Build a Farm. This game was pretty fun to make, and it was totally worth the 4 months to make it. Most likely I won't be updating this game at all because I have other projects I want to work on and a business to run with Cook. So this will most likely be it with Build a Farm. If you guys want to try out Build a Farm, this game will be linked down below. I also have started posting on my second channel, Mini Captain Script, where I post my non-game dev content, like the 75 hard challenge I'm doing. If you enjoyed this video, smash like, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.